Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. We are going to break down Evolution and Saturday night's main event. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell so you get notifications every time we're dropping videos or content so you don't miss a thing. Let's get right into it. Saturday night's main event was pretty forgetful. I'm going to kind of blow through this one so we get to Evolution because it wasn't that special. You have Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre should have won. He needed to get a little bit of credibility back. Now that he's back, main event scene, right? Randy Orton didn't need the win. The fact that two of them are tied up in this jelly roll match is out of control. You could have had anyone else in this match. You could have had anybody. You have Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. They're all filming movies. You have John Cena on a part-time schedule. Seth Rollins is now injured. I mean, you need main event people. And SummerSlam is a two-night event. And you have both main eventers, Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, tied up with Jelly Roll. It's insane. I'm all for celebrities being in there. A lot of people don't like it. They think that celebrities have no business there. I don't mind Jelly Roll being involved in a match and whatever. Do what you got to do to have some, newsworthy stuff happen, right? But don't include two main event players into that. Anyone else could have been involved. Anybody. So it is what it is. Drew McIntyre deserved the win. Randy Orton didn't really need it in this case. And it was an okay match. It was not bad, but nothing to write home about. Next, we got Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso. Not a bad match. Tala Tonga big booting Solo over Jimmy for the pin was what it is. It's going to be a lot of interference during this reign, I have a feeling. Big news is Jacob Fatu comes back. He destroys everyone. He needs to be catapulted into the main event now because he is so over with the crowd. The crowd loves Jacob Fatu. And now with everyone injured, it's time to get the likes of Braun Breaker and Jacob Fatu, maybe even Bronson Reed. We need to boost them to the main event scene here because we're in need of some main event players right now. With everyone filming movies and everyone doing whatever, injuries, it's going to be rough for a little bit. And SummerSlam is a two-night event, so we need some good matches announced for sure. So we'll see how it goes. But Jacob Fatu, he's got star written all over him. Next, Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. The match was starting to kick off into a gear. Seth, Mr. Glass Rollins, decided to do a flying senton back into a reverse moonsault and hurt that leg again. And when you're involved in a major storyline with the Money in the Bank, and then you're tied up with CM Punk and Jey Uso and LA Knight and this person here and this person here, he's all over the place. Sami Zayn, for example. When you have all that going on, you have to be kind of careful what you're doing. And the fact that he's had all these surgeries on that knee, you shouldn't be flipping around. I know that you're a workhorse and you're one of the best wrestlers in business right now, but kind of play it safe because now Money in the Bank is in jeopardy. The storyline with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed's in jeopardy. Everything is in shambles. So now what do? This is before Raw that I'm recording this, so I'm praying that it's nothing serious for Seth Rollins. He deserves to not be out again for so long. But if it is, what do you do in Money in the Bank? What are we doing with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed? Do you bring in like a Karrion Kross to lead that group? Not saying Braun Breaker couldn't do it, but Karrion Kross is very over with the crowd. Maybe showcasing him and what he can do. Someone else maybe to lead this group, a plan B from Paul Heyman. I don't know. We're excited to see what's going to happen, but it just sucks. Poor Seth Rollins. Let's hope and pray it's nothing serious and he's back within a month or two. But if he's out for an extended amount of time, we got some work to do. Gunther versus Goldberg. Having Goldberg go to sleep in his retirement match was kind of questionable. I wouldn't have done that. At least have him get power bombed and he goes out that way. But I wouldn't have had him tap or fall asleep. That's just kind of disrespectful in a way, in my opinion. But having his press conference cut short is also disrespectful because TKO decided, well, we need to squeeze one more commercial break in here and get that money from those sponsors. That's garbage. Goldberg is in his retirement match. He's doing it with WWE. Give him his flowers. Let him say goodbye to his crowd. And if you're not going to do that, cut the show off right before that and post it as a bonus content the next day on social media. But to cut him off because he wanted one more commercial break, crazy talk. But Saturday night's main event, Seth Rollins injury, Jacob Fatu return, Goldberg's retirement, I guess. That's really only newsworthy things that happened. So let's move to Evolution. Here's a hot take. Many of you may not agree with it. WWE Evolution 2 is the best PLE of the year. And I know there's contenders like Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, and they did deliver somewhat in the big moments, but Evolution was fire. These women put on a clinic and they had something to prove and they did it. This needs to be a yearly show or at least every 6 months of a show because there's so many good stories. This took me back because it felt like a pay-per-view. 7 matches. We had a lot of action. No filler. There wasn't all these backstage segments going on. It was a pay-per-view. Like we had the culmination of storylines and 7 matches. It's not like every other PLE that's like 4 or 5 matches and all this filler and all this garbage. This was a great PLE and it's my favorite of the year so far. And that includes Mania. This was the best PLE they've put on. And now we got to go match by match. We got to break this down because I'm excited to talk about it. Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra for the Intercontinental Championship. Man, these women worked so good together. The near falls were great. Bayley and Lyra were awesome in the ring. Becky did her thing. The win, how Becky won was incredible because you have Bayley roll up Lyra, but then Becky does this flip and catches Bayley in the roll up and then got the 1, 2, 3. The whole match was so well worked. It was so great. These 3 work amazing together. And you know what? I'll get greedy. I don't care. Run it back at SummerSlam. I have no care about the 3 of them working again together because it was awesome. Becky has done so much for this Intercontinental Championship and built the prestige it needed. Now we need Julia to do the same thing for the U.S. title. But, dude, Becky has been doing work for this Intercontinental title, and it's probably some of the best work she's done in a very long time. This character that she is and with the title. So Bayley and Lyra did awesome. There was just so many good near falls. It was such a good, well-worked match. Was it match of the night? We'll see. JC Jane versus Jordan Grace was a good, well-worked match. Blake Monroe turning heel, that needed to happen because she's very good as a heel. When she was Mariah May, that was great work. The heel work is great. So having her turn this soon is not a surprise to me, and her and Jordan Grace are going to cook. But, kind of surprised JC Jane did go over because initially I thought Jordan Grace would win. But here we are. JC Jane did win. The heel turn worked. Very good, well-worked match. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. Kind of clunky in the beginning, but Trish found her way, and then she ended up putting on a very good match. It's not a surprise. I knew Tiffany would win. Trish did a good match. I don't know if she's going to retire, but she put on a very good match, and she shouldn't be regretting if this was a retirement match because it was pretty good as it got on. So Tiffany won. It wasn't a surprise, but still, it was a good work match. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss versus Sol, Ruka, and Zarya versus the Kabuki Warriors for the Tag Team Championship. Listen, I have talked so much trash about this Tag Team Championship and how it doesn't matter. The work these 4 teams put in shows me that it is very possible to have a great tag team division for the women. The match was amazing. It was so good. I hate that we're going to get that, and then it's going to go back to how it was tonight on Raw. It's going to be, well, we'll see when we, defend them again. It showed me that there's a lot of potential in this tag division. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss have so much chemistry together. And by the way, Charlotte with her babyface reaction, I was surprised. I think Charlotte was surprised. But she came in with that hot tag. She put in great work. She did the front flip into the clothesline. She did the big boots over the top, and she played to the crowd. This is the best I've seen Charlotte Flair in a long time. When she came back and won the Rumble, I hated it. But this new version of her with Alexa Bliss works. It's very good. And Charlotte and Alexa Bliss are going to take the tag team championships for sure eventually. Um, that was great. Sol Ruka, awesome as usual. I mean, she is going to be. It was fun to see her play with the main eventers now, like Charlotte Flair and all these, women. But I don't think she needs to quite come yet because it's already kind of a lot of women around the Raw and SmackDown that I don't want her to come in and then get lost in the shuffle. So keep her in NXT for a little bit, but she's going to be a star when she does come up to the main roster. So the Kabuki Warriors, obviously, they're always going to do great stuff in the ring together. Asuka is so good. Um, but yeah, it was great. I mean, they retained the titles. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are going to be next to take it. They have so much chemistry together. It's amazing. So I loved it. I love the tag team main event or the championship match. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Jade and Naomi cooked. Naomi led Jade to possibly the best match of her career. I would stand on that. It was so well worked. Bianca being there was, I don't think she needed to be there, honestly. But what it did is it told me there's a lot more story to tell with Jade and Naomi and Bianca. So I'm a little surprised at what happens later. I won't get into it yet, but it was a great match. The Jaded off the top rope through the table, ridiculous. It is crazy work. It was awesome. I mean, Naomi is so good in the ring. Jade is starting to find her stroke in this, and we'll see at SummerSlam if Jade can take the title or not. But I was really hoping Jade would take the title, and that would lead Naomi to try to cash in on her, and then get Bianca in the mix. It doesn't look like we're gonna get that. But yeah, it was such a great match. Jade is really coming around. Not as many botches and showing she can work, and it was awesome. The Battle Royal for the world title shot at Clash in Paris was kind of clunky in the beginning, but it really picked up steam as it went on. Stephanie Vaquer needed to win, and that was the right pick. She looked good. I can't wait to see if she takes a title at Clash at Paris, but she deserved the win. I don't really want to break down the whole battle royal. It was well worked as it went on. Stephanie won. That's how it needed to be, and I'm excited to see what happens there. Io versus Rhea Ripley, 5-star match, spectacular. They put on such a great main event. The near falls were crazy. Rhea Ripley doing some of the best work I've seen in a while because her and Io cooked together. It was such a great match, and it ended with Naomi cashing in. So I was very surprised about that because there was no tease really of that at all. You really thought that Naomi's going to go after Tiffy time or maybe Jade if she wins it, but I don't hate it. Naomi is doing the best heel work of her career, actually the best work of her career, and it happens to be as a heel, but I'm very excited to see what she does with the title. She deserves it. She has put on a lot of work since she's been back and showing what she's capable of. And this whole caution heel character just works for her. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Io and Rhea after this, and if who's going to go after Naomi to try to get it back. But that's how the show ended. And overall, that was just phenomenal. This was the best show of the weekend. It was the best PLE of the whole year, and I am very excited. They should get Evolution 3. And I don't even know if I want to wait a whole year to see it. Every 6 months would be good because these women cook, and this show was amazing. The ring work was good, and it took me back, like I said, to pay-per-view time. 7 matches. It wasn't like 4 matches and a bunch of backstage filler. This was just a pay-per-view. Let's get the work done in the ring. Let's show them what we can do. And it was awesome. So drop in the comments if you agree. Let me know what you think. I thought it was just amazing. So until next time, we'll see you.